Hey, everybody, welcome to the Coffee, the Conversation, the Relationship Edition. Welcome to 2021. Taking the day, I am taking the day. 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 Hey everybody, happy new year. It is 2021 and y'all, we are rocking and rolling. So as you can see, I'm in a new part of the house. I'm in the den. So this is the friend den. That's what we're going to call it. Let me readjust this camera because I feel like I'm a little high up. I need you to be, where I can see you real good, right? All right. Because we're going to be talking about some good stuff. So this year we're going to focus a lot. So the purpose of my channel, for those, this is your first time here, if it happens to be, this year I want to focus on relationships. Now I was going to do a separate CNC that we aired on Friday evenings to talk about relationship stuff, but my personal life got really, really busy. My mom and dad, health-wise, y'all, so pray for us. I'm dealing with that, and me having capacity to just shoot 2 episodes a week I'm not able to do it. But I still wanted to have the relationship conversation with you guys. I still wanted to be able to talk about relationships. So we're going to do it. We're just going to do it on Monday mornings. And so this is the friend den, you and my den, y'all. This is where, me and Jonathan sit and have our relationship conversations. I've been married for 12 years. We dated for 2.5, so almost a 15-year relationship. So I'm just going to share with you the things that I've learned over this time and hope that it helps you. And y'all can talk about it, discuss it, chat below anything about relationships that you want to talk about. Y'all, this is a safe space. So come on here, learn. If you don't, if you got further questions, shoot me an email, spann, SPANN .Angela, ANGELA @gmail. We could talk about it, y'all. I'm here for you. So the first thing we're going to talk about today, relationship-wise, is that if you don't eat beans, you eat peas. Now, this is not a statement that I created. My mother-in-law was the first person to introduce me to this statement. So shout out to Nana Craig. I appreciate you. But she always has said, if you don't eat beans, you eat peas. That is an accurate statement in relationship. So let me tell y'all a story, because y'all know I like to tell you a story. When I first got married, I've been married maybe a little over a year. And I remember I was going south to my parents' house. My parents live about 45 minutes away from me. And I was going south outside of Atlanta. They live on the outskirts of Atlanta to pick up my son. And I said to my husband, I just didn't understand that you were so broken. I was in the car on the cell phone. He said, I just didn't understand that you were so broken. And he said, oh my God, Angela, I didn't know that you were so broken either. And y'all, that man commenced to tell me for that entire duration of the ride, that entire 45 minutes, and I sat in my mama's drive and listened to him for about an hour tell me all the ways that as a wife I was broken from his perspective. So from his mindset, from the way that he looked at marriage, I was broken in these ways. I was incomplete in these ways. I was not the perfect wife for him in these ways. So what do I want you to take away from this? Y'all, if you don't eat beans, you eat peas. Nobody is perfect. I started the story by telling you that in my mind, my husband was the one that was the butter bean in the relationship. And that joker got on the phone and told me I was a black-eyed pea. You hear what I'm saying? No one is perfect. You aren't perfect. You and the person that you're with, that you're dating, that you're married to, you all present in the story with your own issues. with your own brokenness. They working with you like you are working with them. They are being patient with you just like you are being patient with them. If you are dating and expecting a man to perform according to your perfect expectation that's in your head, first of all, let me tell you this, that man or that woman is not in your head. I'm just going to be honest. That man or woman is not in your head. They don't know what your expectation is. They might not have been raised with that expectation. My husband was raised in a certain type of family dynamic that I was not raised in. I was raised in something completely different. So what he expects of a wife, half of that I don't even know he expects until he upset somewhere mad because I didn't meet the expectation. We sit in the family den with a cocktail and talk about, okay, so honey, what did you really expect me to do in this situation? Well, I expected you to do X, Y, and Z. Well, I didn't know you had that expectation. In the way that I was raised, the man does X, Y, and Z. So what we gonna do for our marriage? That is relationship. That is called, okay, in the meal of our marriage, we got steak, potato, and peas. I thought we was going to have lima beans today, but we got black eye. Ooh, I thought we was going to have black eye, but we got pinto. How we going to consume these? Well, with pinto beans, I wasn't prepared for pinto beans. I need a little piece of cornbread. How did you cook these beans? All of those things, you have to think about it. How do we build and make a life together? And everybody is working with sides on their plate. I don't care when you look at your friends and you feel like, oh my God, it's the perfect person. Oh my God, it's the perfect relationship. Child, they eating beans and peas too. They just learn how to season them beans and peas and what to go with the beans and peas. How are you seasoning your beans and peas? Because trust me, everybody comes with beans and peas. Everybody, how are you seasoning your meal? Maybe your beans were too salty. You need to put a piece of sugar in them. Add some more water to the pot. What do you need to do to help your marriage, the beans and peas that come in your marriage, work? Because what is absolutely sure, certain, guaranteed, is that if in marriage, in relationship, you are dealing with beans or peas. Beans or peas happen to be a metaphor. You are dealing with the different nuances, characteristic, personality traits, those flaws that come with that individual. And let me speak to flaws right quick. What I perceive to be a flaw might not be a flaw to the next person. The things that I would look at my husband and say, I cannot believe you're doing that. Do you recognize that there's another woman out there that would look at that same characteristic and think it was a blessing? So it's only a bean to me. To another woman, the thing that I would call a crap characteristic would be collard greens on her plate. Honey, she over there sopping that same flour up with a biscuit. Because to her, it's a blessing. Yeah. If you are married to my married people, sometimes you got to be thankful for the beans and peas that's on your plate. Sometimes you got to say, you know what? I'm so grateful for that. Grateful to have this issue because he could have this issue. I learned that from a girlfriend of mine. Her husband was into cars and he spent a lot of money on cars. But she said to me one day, I said, all that money on cars don't aggravate you? She said, I'd rather cars than women. I'd rather cars than drugs. I'd rather cars than gambling. Sometimes as married women, we get so sick and tired of dealing with a particular issue with our mates. Sometimes as married men, we get sick of dealing with the woman that wants shoes all the time. But you would rather shoes than drugs. You would rather shoes than she want to hang out with her girls. You would rather her go out and buy a pair of shoes than whatever other alternative it is. Sometimes you got to be thankful for the beans and peas that's on your plate. You got to be thankful for your trouble, because your trouble really ain't that bad. She might like shoes, but I can put her on an allowance. I can tell her one pair of Louboutins a year, or one pair of Nine West a month. However you need to work your story out based on your budget. But if you don't eat beans, you eat peas, or you're not in a relationship. And anyone that's having a relationship, a marriage, a committed relationship, I want you to understand that you're working with that person as much as they are working with you. And then you got to sometimes look at those beans and peas and say, now, some type of beans I'm just not going to eat. I'm not dealing with gambling. I'm not dealing with drugs. I'm not dealing with, this is a bean and pea I cannot deal with. And it's okay to put your foot down. My sister-in-law, who shall remain nameless, was dating my brother-in-law, and he had a flaw. And she said, I won't date a man that does this. And if you happen to do this, we cannot be together. Y'all, I want you to know that man stopped doing that. That man put that down. He said, oh, I don't need this. I want you more than I want this particular characteristic. This particular thing I do because I want to. But in the face of a good woman, I don't have to have this. I'd rather deal with the problem of getting rid of this habit than deal with the problem of not having you in my life. Come on here, know your worth. Know what you bring to the table. Don't be afraid to say, I'm not going to deal with this particular situation, because the caliber of woman that I am, I'm not putting up with this. Or the caliber of man that I am, I'm not putting up with this. Because a smart person going to say, this habit is not worth that. All right, now that's all I got for you. If you want to talk a little bit more about it, y'all know where to reach me. span.angela@gmail.com. Y'all can also schedule some sessions if you want to. Listen, I'm here for you, and I'll see you back on the next edition of The Coffee, The Conversation, and Your Relationships. All right, see you next week, guys. Go ahead and take the day. Big hug. Happy New Year. Bye.
Taking the day, I am taking the day. Taking the day, I am taking the day.